Ever been in a group and felt like you're the invisible stick man nobody notices? Yeah, me too. You wave your arms, try to say something, and somehow your words vanish into thin air. Or worse, you get talked over by a stick man who looks like he's auditioning for Most Confident Stick Man of the Year. Here's the thing. Confidence in groups isn't about dominating conversations, cracking every joke, or pretending you have it all figured out. Some people just naturally draw attention and respect, and it's not luck. It's about subtle behaviors, timing, and awareness. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what confident people do differently in groups and how you can start practicing these behaviors immediately without looking like a stick man trying too hard. Confidence in a group setting isn't just about looking good or sounding smart. It's about presence, how people perceive your energy, your engagement, and even your vibe. Ever noticed how some people just naturally attract attention? You don't need to ask them to speak. They enter a room and heads turn. Others, no matter how brilliant, fade into the background. That's because confident stickmen use subtle, intentional cues to influence perception. From posture to tone, timing, and reactions, confidence communicates itself before you even open your mouth. Learning these cues is like unlocking a cheat code for social dynamics. Confident stickmen read the room. They notice energy, mood, and group dynamics. Imagine a stickman entering a meeting. He doesn't just charge in like a caffeinated squirrel. He pauses, scans the room, observes who's talking, who's listening, and adjusts his approach accordingly. Being aware doesn't mean overthinking. It means noticing patterns and responding in a way that makes you look composed and intentional. For example, if two stickmen are in a heated debate, the confident one waits for the right moment to contribute, instead of interrupting like a panic-stricken stickman juggling flaming pens. Confident stickmen know when to speak and when to listen. They don't dominate the conversation. They initiate at the right moments, add insights, and then step back. Their contributions feel valuable, not forced. Think of a stickman sharing a funny story about his weekend. He times it perfectly after a pause in conversation. Everyone leans in. The energy shifts. Contrast that with the stickman who blurts out a long, irrelevant story while others check their watches, or worse, their phone screens. Initiating doesn't have to be dramatic. Even small contributions, a thoughtful comment, a question, a subtle observation, can signal confidence and social competence. Here's where a lot of stickmen fail. Listening isn't just nodding and muttering, uh-huh. Active listening is giving full attention, showing engagement, and responding thoughtfully. Confident people maintain eye contact, nod occasionally, and mirror the speaker's energy. Stickman example. A confident stickman listens, adjusts posture, and interjects appropriately. Audience stickmen respond positively, feeling acknowledged and respected. Active listening also signals self-assurance. You don't need to fill every silence because your attention alone conveys presence and competence. Subtle humor goes a long way. Confident stickmen don't force jokes. They share light humor or relatable stories that engage the group. Stickman example. He tells a quick joke about accidentally walking into a glass door. The group laughs. Not because he's the loudest, but because he's relatable, self-aware, and comfortable. Your personality is part of your confidence toolkit. Don't try to be everyone's entertainer. Just let your quirks and humor surface naturally. People will gravitate toward authenticity. Confident stickmen aren't afraid of silence. They embrace pauses, allowing conversation to breathe. Pauses can be powerful. They let others think, react, and engage. Stickman example. A confident stickman, after sharing a point, pauses. Others lean in, listening. Contrast that with a stickman who babbles nonstop, filling silence like a panicked squirrel with a megaphone. Silence also communicates control. It tells the group, I don't need to rush, I'm composed, I'm confident. Let's recap the 5 behaviors that make confident people stand out in groups. Awareness, read the room, adjust your approach. Initiating and contributing, speak at the right moments without dominating. Active listening, show engagement and respond thoughtfully. Humor and personality, let your authentic self shine. And comfortable silence, embrace pauses, control the rhythm. These aren't innate talents, they're learnable habits. With practice, even the most anxious stickman can command attention without trying too hard. Here's your challenge. Pick one behavior from today: awareness, initiating, listening, humor, or silence, and try it in your next group interaction. Notice how people respond and how you feel. Comment below which behavior you'll practice first. We want to hear your Stickman social wins. And of course, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Stickman social skills, confidence hacks, and motivational experiments. Remember, confidence in groups isn't about being the loudest or funniest stickman. It's about strategic presence, small intentional actions, and letting your authentic self shine.